forewarned, the trials you face will be grueling.
No! He's crushing me, damn. No! Come on. No, why? No shit. The Sonic Frontiers Final Horizon DLC gameplay is a mixed bag of refreshing and rage-inducing difficulty, but from a storytelling perspective, I think it improved Frontiers' ending tremendously. I touched on this briefly in my video breaking down Frontiers' story. I said if you give the game a better ending, then you have a fantastic storytelling experience from start to finish, and Final Horizon does just that for the game. Let's dig into the issues I had with the original ending, and what Final Horizon did to correct them. We can dig a hole in my backyard right next to where Honey the Cat is buried. No, making a cameo in 2021 IDW Sonic comics does not mean you're back. I couldn't help but feel that the original story ending of Frontiers was rushed after completing Final Horizon. Certain plot points were resolved too quickly or just underdeveloped. One of the areas that Final Horizon further fleshes out is the Ancients. The base game did a lot of telling the player what the Ancients were, why they came to Sonic's world, the technology they created on the islands, and what happened to them, but not much about who the Ancients were. The closest we got to knowing the Ancients as people were through the memories of the Cocos that Amy, Knuckles, and Tails help on the first 3 islands, which can be boiled down to, I love you, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. What is that thing coming straight towards us? We need to hold the line!
We didn't hold the line.
Alright, the defenses are set. Just gotta wait for my hero to get back from the store from buying his cigarettes. Anytime now. This surface level exposure changes when you meet each of the 4 masters and complete their trials in Final Horizon. You realize after talking to them that each of these ancient heroes mirrors our heroes of today. Dragon, the pilot of Giganto, represents Amy's unwavering love. Snake, the pilot of Wyvern, represents Knuckles' warrior spirit. Tiger, the pilot of Night, represents Tails' genius. And Crane, the sacrificial pilot of Supreme, represents Sonic's heroics. I promise, these are all different characters. You also get to meet the leader of the Ancients, known as Master King, who is now a very popular character in the Sonic fandom. People that feel like Sonic lacked his edge in the main story probably appreciated him taking jabs at Master King. Sonic doesn't respect his authority at all and gets bored as Master King lore dumps on him. It's great. This extra time given to the development of the Ancients helps to make them feel more integral to the plot instead of being background set pieces like they are in the base story. Background set pieces are also what Amy, Knuckles, and Tails become when they dip in the final act after being with you throughout the base game. You could feel the crunch Sega put on Sonic Team to get Frontiers finished, particularly in how rushed the scene is where Sonic gets fully corrupted. Sonic succumbs to the corruption, his friends are back in their normal forms but are devastated. Eggman does a and the trio immediately give themselves back to cyberspace so Sonic can return to normal. Yay, problem solved somehow, and no more cyber corruption. I love when 15 hours of buildup is resolved in 55 seconds. Not only does the original ending leave the cyber corruption storyline with absolutely no payoff, more on that later, but it also left Amy, Knuckles, and Tails' presence in the story as mostly a couple of damsels in distress to rescue, which Amy makes sure to tell you in Final Horizon she's not. It feels like some of Eggman's initial dialogue in Final Horizon directly mocks how easily the power of friendship saves Sonic and resolve things. Eggman being annoyed about Sonic and his friends doing their Fast Friends Forever routine is what they tried to go for in Lost World, but this time it's actually done well. Working together with everyone to collect the Chaos Emeralds in Final Horizon reminded me of many past 3D Sonic games like Sonic Adventure 2, Heroes, and 06, where the characters that have been with and against Sonic throughout his journey come together to overcome an even greater threat. It's much more fitting than just having Amy, Knuckles, and Tails sacrifice themselves and be gone until right before the credits roll. They were there with Sonic throughout his journey. They should help him finish it. Having the trio's help in the endgame also means we get to see their differing reactions to experiencing cyber corruption, which I found very interesting. Tails sees it as another challenge to rise to Sonic's level. Knuckles is pissed that Sonic handled the corruption better than he does, and Amy starts to sound like she smokes 3 packs a day.
Well, too bad. They need me. I won't give up.
These details seem minor, but the extra care that Final Horizon gives to Frontiers' ending goes a long way towards building up to a more epic finale. Speaking of cyber corruption, Final Horizon actually does something with it. One of my biggest gripes with Frontiers' original ending was the lack of payoff in Sonic's struggle with overcoming cyber corruption. He's literally limping from tower to tower in the cutscenes on Raya Island before the corruption fully takes him. Can you imagine how long it would have taken to clear those towers if they made us play like that too? Oh god. You would think that after everything Sonic and his friends went through and already using Super Sonic to beat every boss fight in the game so far, that it would be leading up to a new super form for the final fight, right?
Here comes the payoff! There's nothing in here.
Well, Sonic Team thought that it was unfitting too that the original ending only had more Super Sonic and Galaga. So in Final Horizon, Master King gives Sonic the power to harness cyber corruption in his Super Sonic form.
If Super Sonic's so great, why isn't there a Super Sonic 2?
This helps create a much more fitting final boss fight with some amazing moments. I geeked out so hard the first time I saw this combo cut-in. That is peak Sonic. But Sonic Team didn't stop there and gave us a brief look at another Super Sonic form where he unleashes the full power of cyberspace to finally defeat the End. Unfortunately for fans of the second cyberspace form, we probably won't see it again since it sounds like it was a one-time use. If we had a nickel for every cool Sonic super form that we only saw for 2 seconds, then we would have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's frustrating that it's happened twice. With Cyber Super Sonic finishing off the End himself with the help of Eggman, it also spared us from Sage's pointless sacrifice in the original ending. In that ending, regular Super Sonic isn't enough to completely destroy the End by piercing through it, so a last-ditch self-destruct sequence to blow up Sonic's world is activated. Sage pilots Supreme into the heart of the End to minimize the blast and save the world while being deleted in the process. This would be and was a heart-wrenching ending, until you see Sonic's friends jumping for joy like nothing's wrong. Why are they celebrating like the villain of an early 2000s movie just died instead of mourning the girl that helped save everyone? This ending only gets more disjointed when Sage is brought back to life by Eggman in a post-credits cutscene. I know it's a common trope, but fake out deaths for the sake of an emotional reaction from the audience will almost always feel unearned to me. I love you, Tangled, but you're on thin ice for that one. With Cyber Super Sonic and Eggman defeating the End, Sonic's friends' joyful reactions no longer seem deranged and were treated to a new cutscene. Instead of seeing Eggman mourn the sacrifice of Sage by himself, we now get to see Eggman telling her that it's time for them to go home together. It makes me happy to see Eggman win a bit for once. The Final Horizon is an ending redemption that you don't get to see happen very often with video games. It's not too often that a game developer says, the original ending was our bad, but since you guys were so supportive of the game, here's the ending we actually wanted to make. It's free, by the way. Will other games follow suit as time crunch for game development seems to be getting worse and worse? Who knows, but I still really appreciate what Sonic Team has done for us and giving us a new ending for Sonic Frontiers that I really love. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got another hole to dig in my backyard because I don't think that the Sonic fanbase is going to let Master King's Coco last for much longer. Like, I know he's dead, but why do I have to keep going to the top of that tower to swap characters?